Hey, I'm Kev, welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross as Kev Hillman, he battled for the victory in Indianapolis, but you do the same in Detroit. So here's high side on the outside approaching that first corner, look at it, wide open. But the first left-hander we're looking at, we're not going up on this opening lap. Let's see if I can find a gap to get through, just like he has. He's battling for the lead. Too much into the tough blocks. Get out of there. As he rejoins down in 18th. So superb start. And oh, someone's down. That slowed down everyone. What is going on? Thanks, Roman. As he gets into tough blocks. This is one of the worst starts I've ever seen. And he's not last though. He's up to 19th. So let's see what we can do for the rest of this heat race. I suspect he's not making it through to the main event. As he goes for the... What are you doing, Roman? You just keep pushing us everywhere. There you go, get out of here. It was worth going in the tough blocks just for that. As Iceland makes it over the trip at the end of the lap. He's behind Del Yee, one of the stars from Indianapolis. As now we get to the big left hand. Here we go, uphill. Very wide the line from high side. Not the line you want to be taken. And he's carried way too much speed again into the right hander. What an absolute idiot this guy is. As we've got Roman in front. We've got a Kawasaki in 18th. Del Yee in 17th. And Trot in 16th. Another rider who went pretty well in Indianapolis. Was right up there in the main event early on, if I remember correctly. As you can see, all the leaders are already on to the next lap. High side just approaching the final section. It's almost depended way too much on the rear brake there to get the bike round. As it's Webb who's leading ahead of Ryan Maroxon and Barsha. Malcolm Stewart trying to get into the main event in 5th. There's tough blocks are everywhere. One of many high side victims, I guess, in that tough block from this event. Certainly gone to war with them. As he's trying to ensure he doesn't finish last here, so he doesn't have a poor gate for the semi-final. And try and make up some positions, which is very tough after that opening couple of laps. But he is on the back of Roman. Got Reston down in 18th, Del Yee in 17th. Kawasaki making moves now up to 16th as tough blocks are everywhere. There might actually be another autobiography name for high side. We are racking up the autobiography names these last couple of events. He gets down the inside of Roman, doesn't get the drive though. That's going to be the story as Roman just blocks him in the middle of the corner. Effectively brake checking high side there. Alright, so gets down the inside, up into 19th, he's not last. Comeback is on. As he's trying to say bye-bye to Roman. Roman. As Del Yee up at 16th. Back ahead of the Kawasaki. And out of the groove is high, so look how treacherous that right-hander is. As he tells Roman to shove off. Politely this time. Seems to have worked. It's really using that rear brake. Setting times in the 55s. Seems to be decent. As Roxon now leads, of course he does. The Honda man ahead of Cooper Webb on his Yamaha. That's better from high side over that section into the whoop section. See, now he's carrying some speed through the corners. Suppose he's staying upright over that jump. So on the penultimate lap of the race as well. Roman's been left in the dust. And eyesight trying to get into the dust of Western here. Once again does that right-hander awfully. That is going to be a big issue in the main event, which hopefully eyesight will see. Not sure at the moment, but then again, he was horrible in Indianapolis until the main event. Because he's at 54 now. Definitely getting up to speed. He gets into Western. There's now Muskin's up to second, Elder Cooper Webb. You've got Ironside battling hard with Reston. May only be for 18th. But it's another position. And a slot higher, as I said, for the gate slots for the semi-final. He's now battling with Trot and Yi for 16th. Not quite close enough to make the move, is he? Oh, the bike fighting that time. Through the left-handers, Roxon, Muskin, Webb, Millsaps make it through. Jake Wimmer just missing out. Engelhart. Oh, he's used to that, unfortunately. He's a Yamaha Suzuki one, I should say, just missing out. Not the same for high side. As Roxon, Muskin, Webb, Millsaps, Weimer, Engelhart, Baguette, Basil, Justin Barsh and Johnny Taylor, your top 10. Hillman down in 16th after a horrible beginning to the race, but he got it together on those last couple of laps. So some encouraging pace heading into the semi-final. As the top 5 qualify from the 16-man field. As we get underway, right in the middle, does high side. Let's see if we can survive the first couple of corners this time. First couple of laps as well. As he gets it into. But he's making it through. Don't carry too much speed. Into the right hand. He's done it this time. He's battling for the lead. With Eugene. Very robust from high side. But he holds on and takes the lead. As he's got Baggett behind. He's also got Johnny Taylor as well. And Baggett trying to go for the lead. High side blocks him. Just about holds on through the right-hander. He's going to this last section. High side pretty good. Taking the wide line and leads going on to the second lap of what should be 5 laps at most. There's Raymond at the back. Thankfully, high side doesn't have to battle him. But he does have to battle his bike, going into that left-hander, going very wide. And then takes back the lead again, heading into that hairpin. Very good going into there. The Detroit track should suit high side for the most part. I mean, it's very much, again, a rhythm section. A bit like Indianapolis all round. Except without the massive jumps that Indianapolis has. And it has this treacherous right-hander. Thankfully, tough blocks on the inside, as you can see, not too dangerous. Compared to most of the tough blocks around. But it's working out for high side. He sets a 55 on his second lap. So you've got 3 laps remaining. Don't think this is quite the penultimate lap unless high side really slows it down. It's all Baggett wants to take the lead back. High side says no. Going into the whip section. I think he's learned his lesson from Detroit. Or from Indianapolis, should I say. We are in Detroit. But he didn't say no to Chad Reed. Got starstruck. The MR man won. Against Baggett. His fellow KTM runner. Been very robust. Just like he was very robust to Ryan Dunn, do you remember, in that main event. So Isa doesn't discriminate. You know, he gets very rough against all of the riders he battles with. Even his fellow KTM runners. As now we are on the penultimate lap of the race. As he just about gets the bike round the left-hander. Baggett with a much better run. Isa taking that wide line but holds on. But behind we've got Eugene who's making it through. Justin Barsha. On the Suzuki, Isa just about stays upright. And Johnny Taylor on the Husqvarna in 5th. Or should we say 4th now. As Isa once again aggressive to Baggett. This time the American makes it through. Then towards the right and just about holds on. So difficult to traction out that right-hander. As we go into the final corner, almost wiped out by Baggett. Let's go across the line, neck and neck. As Highside tries to hold off Baggett, but tough block in the way. And he gets into Baggett, and now he's dropped way back as Highside, but he's making it through to the main event at the moment. That's the main thing. Can't lose focus on that fact, as Del Yee's making it through as well in 5th. At the moment. There's Highside, good air there, but too much air. You can see really stifles the momentum into the massive jump which follows. He's got to manage to throttle a bit better. But now he's into the tough blocks all of the tough blocks. What the hell? But still, he's going to be second behind Blake Baggett, which is a bit annoying as he led most of the way, but it's a KTM 1-2 and some position into the main event. And it's a Husqvarna 3-4 with Eugene and Johnny Tay, and Del Yee on his Suzuki makes it through just ahead of Arthur Basil. Justin Barsha dropped to 8th in the end. He lost pace. So that race went on. Very surprising. As let's see if Kev Hillman can produce another fantastic race just like he did last time out.
The high-flying stars of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship have raced hard here at Ford Field. There is just one race left to go here in Detroit, Michigan. The main event. Which rider is in the best shape? Which rider has the most heart? Which rider is willing to risk it all for the win in the Motor City? You can hear the cheer. He is the crowd favorite. Will that be too much pressure or the motivation for him to get the win?
Here's Highside revving up. Right in the middle, just like in the semi-final alongside Brock Trickle. Let's get underway for another 10 minutes of fun. Let's see if he can survive the first corner though. He does, he takes the lead, does he? Briefly. He's alongside Cooper Webb and Roxon and Dean Wilson. And Highside takes the lead. Takes the high line. Hoping to get some good momentum. There's Eugene in 4th as well on the Husqvarna. And they got Justin Brayton in 5th. But what a start for Hillman. There's no wide into the right hander. That's allowed Roxon through. Almost allowed Wilson through as well. But then Highside takes it back immediately in the next corner. Maybe just got to use a bit more rear brake heading into that corner as Roxon leads across the line, but nothing separates these two riders going on to the second lap. But you can see Highside very dramatic going into that big left-hander. Tries to get on the power hard, but you can see just not got the traction it feels like. Compared to Honda in front. And again losing some momentum heading into the jump. Look at that, he feels like he's in quicksand compared to Roxon. Still Dean Wilson in 3rd. They go through the right-hander. And Roxon pulling away a bit. 1.6 ahead until this section, and then look at Highest on the final section. Roxon almost loses it. They are neck and neck across the line. 54.9 from Highside. Oh, and Roxon takes him out. What an arsehole. And here comes a previous arsehole winner, Cooper Webb, up into 2nd. Where's Webb come from? They've got Justin Brayton in 4th. Dean Wilson's dropping back. Just as I say that, it takes back 4th. He's not dropping back. Oh, he's not making that triple Highside. That is costing him so much time on these laps. You can see he drops almost a second back compared to Webb. And what is going on? Why is he reset? As he takes out Muskin in frustration. Got Dean Wilson in 3rd in front. As he go on to the 4th lap. Got Dungey in 5th. Nice side. Launches his way past Wilson. You can see the top two getting away. And he swear he has the pace of them, despite his issues around a couple of corners here. As he is gaining, you can see he's gaining on Webb. And Roxon not pulling away spectacularly in the lead. Thought it'd be more in the lead as Muskin's back into the top 5 after his brush with Hillman. And this is a section where Hillman's very strong, and Roxon again very slow in the final corner. Someone sets a 54.4. Comes virtually to a stop as well in that first corner. That's better around the left-hander, kept the momentum going. Let's look at Webb, having a race of his life, battling Roxon. They're just 2 seconds up the road. You can see Highside taking those high lines. And again, no momentum into that jump. Absolutely killing him this race. That's even worse than this right-hander. It's a bit of that rider line seems to have helped him. But look at that, 4 seconds back. He lost 2 seconds in that sector. And that's the one with the right-hander. With that jump section as well. But then see by the end of the lap he's 2.4 back. So he needs to close that gap in that section if he wants to win it. This has got Muskin and Dungey behind. The Works KTM's behind. 2 seconds back. 3 seconds back off the leader. So he's a second further back than he was the previous lap. No, he's down! I have no idea why. Didn't look like he was slow. Looked like he had the pace. And now Dungey's pushing him wide. It's a slippery slope for High, so we've seen in the past when this happens, he just drops backwards. Especially when Dungey, not a man to give out favours after High, so previously took him out. High side having none of it from the number 1. As he takes back 4th, just temporary, but look at the top 2 easing away now in the second half of this race. But Highside, for the championship, he needs to take points off his KTM teammates. He needs Webb to take out Roxon as well. Which, considering how Roxon's gone into a final corner, you never know. Still no momentum over those jumps. No, he's down to 2nd gear just to keep the revs up. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at no traction through the right-hander compared to everyone else as well. It's like they've got tyres that have extra grip somehow. In that right-hander. As he approaches the final third of the race, is gap behind to Jason Anderson and Eugene on the Husqvarnas. And there's a gap in front to the KTMs. Come on, Highside, get your act together. Look at that, almost a second. And Jason Anderson is almost 4 seconds back in 6th. Let's look at them battling hard as well. They should be slowing each other down instead they're speeding up. So that's better through the right-hander. Where have they pulled 3 seconds out of their arse from? Hillman was not that slow in that section. He still did a 55, but somehow they pulled 3 seconds in one sector. That's the unbelievable pace from the factory KTMs. Maybe highlighting that ISO maybe needs to change manufacturer in the final part of this season if he wants to win the title. He's getting no support from KTM now. After he's taken out Muskin in this race as well. As he goes over the jump, it's got Chad Reed in 7th. The winner last time out. Not looking to repeat it this time, but still a very good result for Chad. And then see he's nipped back there. It's in a bit of a group. He's got Anderson 1.3 behind. What is happening to the pace this race? Suddenly everyone feels like they're doing 53s. Just out of nowhere. As he go through, massive jump. Get hard on the power. Going through the left and right. Going over the jumps, nicely done. Getting momentum absolutely killed. There has to be a way to do that triple. I mean, we're on a 450 bike. There should have enough power to do it. Just feels like it doesn't have it though, in Hillman's hands. So he's keeping the gap to Anderson behind, but look at the gap in front, 5 seconds. And he's doing 54s. They are doing 53s. As Roxton's 10 seconds in front, looks like Cooper Webb. Drop him back. He may be under threat then. From the KTM duo. But you can see they are gaining. Actually, they've been split up. Looks like Dungey's dropped back from Muskin. Go over the jump. Again, casing that jump. That landing. Trying to carry momentum into the hairpin. Just not having it again into the right-hander as well. Just no grip at all. But still, this would be another top 5 result. It's points off Seeley. He's not even in the top 10, Cole Seeley. Good points off Seeley then. But still, he's losing points to Roxon, to Muskin, to Dungey. And it's tough taking points back off them. At least meaningful points, because he might be close to 40 points back now in the championship. There's almost 2 race wins behind, approaching the final third of the season. It is going to be incredibly tough for Hellside to win. Like I said, might be in trouble from KTM. He might have to change bikes. So KTM's just not delivered the goods for the most part as well. So look at that next time. He's still producing consistent 54s. He's actually keeping pace with Dungey now. So their 53 streak seems to be over in front. As we go into the final lap. Reed's still comfortable in 6th, way ahead of Reed. Looks like Reed has also gapped his pursuers. Let's go over the jumps. Got such a massive crowd as well. Don't get distracted by the crowd on the final lap. Higher side. Let's see, trying using rear brake to get past that right-hander. Roxon wins. Dominant performance from the German ahead of Cooper Webb on his Yamaha. Now he's producing some performances. Muskin rounds out the podium. Then Dungey and Hillman the top 5. And just over a second behind is Anderson in 6th. Then a bit of a gap to Reed, Baggett, Eugene. Good top 10 on his. Has far ahead of Davey Millsaps. Cole Seeley down in 11th. Not a good race for the man who's challenging Roxon for the title. I'm sure words are just gone now.
That was a race he will try to predict quickly. All you can do is put it behind you, get back out to the practice track, and start preparing for the next race.
As we look at the championship, and it is how we feared, a 41-point gap to Roxon. As he's got an 18-point gap to Seeley, and he's just 2 points ahead of Dungey. who's just a further 5 points ahead of Muskin. And there's a 16-point gap between the KTM riders, with Chowdhury 27 points behind in 6th and just 6 points ahead of Jason Anderson. Then Wilson, Millsaps and Cooper Webb up into the top 10 after another fine performance, just 2 points behind the KTM and Millsaps and 3 points ahead of Baggett, who's level on points with Justin Brayton as well. And then there's a massive gap to everyone else. The top 12 has certainly been the class of the field this season, has its still 38 riders have scored points so far, with Trot now in the wooden spoon spot. As we look at the messages from the supporters, Rolf, well done high side. They're more enthusiastic for what happened today than they were in Indianapolis, isn't it? So that's how you do it. Joe, a very big fan. Andrea, a bit more realistic. But we'll see what happened to high side for the next race, if he'll still be in the KTM after take out another factory rider as we head to the Dome at America Center in St. Louis. But it's a fine performance at Ford Field. Can you go even better next time out? So out for watching, we'll find out then.